What would you do if one day, without warning, you were arrested? No explanation, no crime. Just a summons to stand trial in a system that doesn't even seem to know what you've done wrong. Sounds a bit ridiculous, right? Just another dystopian work of fiction that couldn't possibly be relatable to you. But trust me, it very much is. You see, Kafka wasn't describing some imaginary future that operates according to unknown rules. He was describing a problem that existed then and exists today. A problem known as bureaucracy. Franz Kafka's The Trial opens with our protagonist, Josef K, being arrested for something so bizarre that it never gets revealed throughout the story. What's interesting about his arrest is that Josef is free to go about his daily life. He can continue to work at the bank, leave the apartment whenever he pleases, and it's as if he was never arrested in the first place. The legal system in the trial is a labyrinth of confusion. Josef K meets countless officials, clerks, and bystanders, none of whom actually help him. It's bureaucracy at its finest, endless processes and zero progress. What's more frustrating is that all of those people Josef meets are aware of his trial and assure him that this trial is a very serious matter. However, at the same time, they claim that it won't affect his life that much. This level of absurdity and ridiculousness perfectly captures the essence of a phenomena which is known as Kafkaesque. This theme of madness and absurd lies within Kafka's other work as well. In a short story that is mentioned in The Trial, known as Before the Law, Kafka tells us of a man who seeks to enter a gate that protects the law, a symbol of justice, truth, and perhaps meaning itself. He arrives at this gate guarded by a watchful gatekeeper. The man is told that he cannot enter now, but maybe someday he might be allowed in. Naturally, the man decides to wait, and wait, and wait some more. Years pass by. He grows old and weak, desperate even, so he tries bribes, pleading and reasoning, and all of those attempts show to be futile, so the gatekeeper remains to be unfazed. Finally, as the man lies on his deathbed, he asks, "How come throughout all of those years has no one but me sought to enter this gate?" The gatekeeper saw that the man was already dying, so in order to reach his diminishing sense of hearing, he shouted, "Here, no one else can gain entry. Since this entrance was assigned only for you, I am going now to close it." And this is how the story ends. Kafkaesque isn't just about the ridiculous bureaucratic machine, but also about the human nature of succumbing to systems without questioning their legitimacy or justification. Not once has that man tried to simply enter the gate without permission. Instead, he chose to believe in a system of order that didn't actually exist. Josef K, like the man from the parable, never questions the legitimacy of the system he's caught in. He assumes there is a reason for his arrest, even if no one will tell him what it is. He spends his days trying to navigate a nonsensical bureaucracy, hoping to clear his name in a trial that he himself doesn't even understand. Throughout the book, Josef becomes so obsessed with his mysterious trial that it begins to consume every aspect of his life. His initial confusion and frustration spiral into an all-encompassing fixation. His personal relationships deteriorate, his work performance at the bank falters, and his ability to make rational decisions is clouded by the growing paranoia and desperation. At one point, Josef even leaves work early to meet a painter, someone who should have nothing to do with the court. And yet, in this bizarre world that Josef inhabits, this painter is inexplicably connected to the court's internal affairs. The absurdity of a painter wielding influence in the legal system doesn't even faze Josef. He accepts it without question, just as he accepted the trial itself. By now, it's painfully clear. Josef is trapped in a system where progress is impossible, and the charges against him remain a mystery, yet he never stops trying to solve this unwinnable puzzle. His trial isn't just unfair, it is the very definition of absurd. We think we have it all figured out. We think we can control things, fix them, that we can keep life moving forward on the path that we've chosen. But all that's standing between us and chaos is a tiny, fragile thread. Cut that thread and we're all just falling into space. Believe it or not, you're Josef K. I'm Josef K. I'll go so far as to say that we're all Josef Ks, caught in our own trials, endlessly navigating systems that make no sense. But here's the real question. Can we escape this Kafkaesque loop? Can we challenge the system, or are we doomed to repeat Josef's fate? Trapped in an endless search for answers that never come. Perhaps the key lies in something Josef never dared to do, find peace with his fate by either accepting it psychologically or by rejecting the system entirely and walking away. Joseph's tragedy isn't just that he's caught in an absurd trial, it's that he never steps back to reflect, never considers that he might have the power to define his own response to the chaos. By surrendering to the system's rules, Joseph becomes a prisoner of its absurdity. So let me ask you this again. What would you do?